Yes, right here. Yes, sir.
Good morning and thank you. My name is Chris. I live in East Boston. In 1973-74, in the Arab oil embargo, downtown properties had a big increase in value because of oil translates into accessibility and transportation and central business district location. The generation today, with the recent increase in prices, I don't see that the same thing that happened in the early 70s with respect to downtown property values. I invite all 5 of you to comment on that, please.
Well, very quickly, in inflation-adjusted dollars, oil is still a lot cheaper than it was in 73 or 78. So you haven't had quite the same pressure. But that's coming. I mean, what we've seen in the Gulf in the last 2 months, and what we see in terms of the use of carbon-based fuels worldwide, I just returned from China, says that we're going to continue to see energy prices rise, which I think is going to strengthen the argument for living close to where you work, strengthen the argument for less transportation, particularly by automobiles. And the result will be we'll see a restructuring of the geography of metropolitan areas.
I think that process has actually been going on since 1973, and that the amount of office space that's been built that's not urban, that's out closer to where people live, is much greater than what was built in downtown Boston. And that decentralization to get jobs and houses located near each other has been a big part of our local economy over the past 30 years.
And downtown real estate, it mirrors the Commonwealth. We have seen an increase in, especially condos. When you think about downtown, Back Bay, you've got a lot of condos. Condo prices are increasing. So we are seeing a positive real estate market downtown.
And I would just add that I think the observation you made can be applied to any housing stock, and that is you're not seeing the price spikes. You're not seeing the price inflation, the rapid price inflation that we experienced in downtown Boston and in other metro areas in the state during that time, at this time, because of other economic factors, especially the high unemployment rate. Yes, we have another question over here.
Hi, my name is Peter. My question may be a little bit dated, but I understand that a big part of the problem that occurred with the disaster in real estate is the problem with qualifying people for mortgages and outright fraud that occurred, people not even having incomes. I'm just wondering, how did that happen?
Greed. I'll tell you, there were no documentation loans that were put out there, but that was only part of the problem. You had people doing interest-only loans trying to get into the market, and then you had a large segment of the population that were refinancing time and time again, treating their house like an ATM machine. ATM. The M in that is
ATM machine, yes.
Yeah. So it was, and then Wall Street as well. They were looking for higher profits, and they would do anything to get the money to bundle the loans in order to increase their profits. So for me, it comes down to greed.
We have reported this story so intensely, and there are so many perpetrators in this long, sad saga that I don't think it can be summed up in just a minute or two. But I will recall that in 2006, when I was reporting a story in refinancing and purchasing in California, in Southern California, at one point, 65% of the mortgages that were being approved were no doc or, my favorite, negative amortization loans, in which with every payment you made, you owed more, which made no sense. And we knew that the end was coming. Yes, we have time for 1 or 2 questions. Yes, right here in the spotlight. Yeah.
Hi, Jake Pavidi with Zip Realty. Hey, thanks for coming, guys. First thing I want to say is we have about 500 to 800 new registrants a month on the Cape, so the Cape's doing fine. But as we saw the great movement this first 4 months because of the tax credit. In April, we also saw the new HAFA regulations come out, which is supposedly going to prevent the long-term short sale answers from the lenders. My concern, I guess, Kevin, to you is what is NAR doing to ensure that the government has any ability to corral these lenders to follow these guidelines in an expedient manner? so that we do get responses and have these, as we look forward to the rest of the year with hundreds of thousands of short sales coming online.
NAR stands for the National Association of Realtors. Realtors love using acronyms, so just so you know. We have professional lobbyist staff down in Washington, D.C. We have expert regulatory staff. They're keeping an eye on what's going on. Our presence is felt every day on the Hill, but the bottom line is, what can we do? As consumers, we can put the pressures on our members of Congress. It really comes down to us. If we want something to change, we need to make sure that we do it. In October of last year, I was flown down to Washington to talk to my member of Congress, Richie Neal, who's on House Ways and Means Committee, to talk to him about extending and expanding the homebuyer tax credit. So NAR does have programs. They do stay on top of it, but it ultimately comes down to us and the consumer.
I want to thank all of you for coming today, and I do want to take one moment to thank our presenting sponsors, Comcast Business Class, Delta Dental, Century Bank, the Pine Hills, IBEW Local 103, and Zip Realty, and also our associate sponsors, REAgentFinder.com, North Shore Bank, Wheelbrader Technologies, North Shore Music Theater, First Republic Bank, New England Regional Council of Carpenters, and Window World of Boston. Now, some of you left your business cards out front. And you know, as WBZ always does, we have some prizes to give away. And I want to announce that those prizes right now, the $100 Legal Seafoods gift card is being won by Winnie Henchy at Jeb and Drigan Realty. And you can come in up front a little bit later on and pick it up. A pair of Red Sox tickets to Kathleen LaFlamme at College Consultants of New England, and a week of free advertising on WBZ to Tim Ciccone at iProspect. Thank you so much. And also, thank you to our speakers. Barry Bluestone, it's always a pleasure. We've had Barry on the air so often on WBZ.
I have to tell you, Anthony.
Yes.
This is my second time with you here.
I know.
And when I told my wife, who's a psychologist, that you had invited me back, she said, "Is he nuts?" you know, honey, she said, you became an economist because you had neither the personality nor charm to be an accountant. So thank you very much for...
Thank you very much. And Tony Green, thank you so much. John Spence. And also Kevin Sears of the Mass Association of Realtors. Thank you, gentlemen. And we appreciate you coming here as well, because, you know, this wouldn't work without your presence. And a video of this is available online. We'll have reports this afternoon, and hopefully we'll keep reporting the positive and the realistic news of real estate on WBZ. And make it a good day. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was great. Thank you.